Well, 11 students have turned themselves in, and they've been given appearance tickets for unlawful imprisonment, a misdemeanor. Authorities are refusing to release their names, even though those who are 18 or older can be charged as adults.
The DA publicly plea bargained at his press conference yesterday, promising if those involved surrendered inside of 48 hours, they would leave the prosecution with nothing on their criminal record and not spend 1 minute in jail.
We're told the offer stands, even though the sheriff's office admits nobody's handed over a gun that may have been used in this hazing. It happened last Thursday night. 4 of the 5 victims escaped. One of them really caught the worst of it. He was tied up, pillowcase put over his head, threatened with a gun and a knife, thrown in a trunk, all according to the district attorney. The offenders captured his fear on video. The Young Team's Meredith Keeler has more on this crisis at the classroom report tonight.
Dr. Susan Lipkin says she's positive there's a culture and a pattern of hazing at the Westhill School District. She began her research into high school and college hazing in 2003.
The students usually plan the hazing way in advance. This is not an impulsive kind of thing. They know to do it at places that there is no supervision or it's under supervised.
In this case, the DA says one male student was under the impression he'd be bonding with some upperclassmen on the varsity team. They were told they'd head to a lacrosse game and then to McDonald's for something to eat. Instead, he was driven to a remote part of Onondaga County. The DA sharing he was tied up, had a pillowcase over his head, and was placed in the trunk of a car.
People came out of the woods all dressed in black. They were armed with what appeared to be at least one handgun and at least one knife.
When students are put into the trunk of a car, for example, that is part of what's considered kidnapping. It happens very frequently as hazing. They usually drop the student off or students off at an unknown place. Sometimes they are blindfolded. Sometimes they are made to drink alcohol, so they're drunk and blindfolded.
In a letter to parents, the school superintendent announcing the rest of the boys' varsity lacrosse season is canceled. A day later, all 11 students believed to be involved turned themselves in. Dr. Lipkin says now the questions will shift to who knew about this, including the lacrosse coach and his staff and school leaders.
It may or may not have been reported in the past. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened in the past. And I wouldn't be surprised if the perpetrators use as a defense that, well, this happened to me and it'll happen to you. And a lot of parents say, yeah, this has been happening. And, this is how you create team bonding.
The DA maintains adults around the program did not know about this in advance. Our efforts to contact the coach, who was newly appointed in February, have been unsuccessful. I'm Mary Keeler reporting.
Gary Robinson Jr. joins us now in studio.
With what parents and community members are saying about the hazing incident. Gary, what are they telling you tonight?
Yeah, simply put, neighbors are shocked that something like this has happened in their community. Today, I spoke with parents, grandparents, and others to weigh in on this extreme hazing incident. The disturbing details around a criminal hazing incident involving Westhill's lacrosse team is understandably shocking to many.
I was very surprised. It just caught me off guard that something like that would happen around here.
I thought they went to the extreme with the hazing.
Anytime you put a group of teenage boys specifically together, they usually make dumb decisions, and it feels like that's what this is, and they took it way too far.
Sean Scullion has 2 sons that play sports at Westhill High School. He feels it's unfortunate that the school district had to cancel the lacrosse season, impacting others who aren't involved. That being said, he understands that decision.
Unfortunately, they took this way too far, and now they've ruined it for other kids. And hopefully moving forward, they'll think twice before doing this.
I trust the DA that he's making the right decision and so on. I feel it was very traumatizing for him, and it's something he'll never forget.
Janice Lakowski and Cindy Hedman are grandparents. They feel for the parents who may be skeptical about their child's safety, be it at school or on sports teams where there's an expectation of safety.
Very scary for parents to think that they're going to allow their children go to school, feel safe, be safe, have fun, and that's not happening. And then I heard that there was a gun involved, and I thought, I wonder if, and a knife too, and I thought, were they going to use those, or was the gun loaded, or was that just to scare him?
I spoke to many other parents and grandparents who chose not to be on camera today, all of them in agreement that what the DA describes here is so far beyond anything they remember experiencing in their younger days. They hope the lessons learned here prevent something like this from ever happening again. Reporting in studio, I'm Gary Robinson Jr.
Yeah, really heartbreaking to think about what that student endured.
Yeah, and more consequences still to come. Thank you, Gary.